But to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Shadows sleeping in the dead of night. I light the match, they feel my fight. Street I flicker like a war zone flare. They see me rise, they won't dare. Some man cracks under my stride. Whispers chase me, they collide. Gun dreams heavy like gold chains. Every sorrow that screams my name. Be legendary, feel the fire in your chest. No second guessing, this is your test.
Yes, sir. We are back for another episode of the Hoosier Legends Weekly Podcast. I am your co-host, Justin Spears, joined as always by Mr. Mike Walden. Mike, how are you doing on what we normally say is a Wednesday evening? It's a Friday late afternoon. What's going on?
Hey, man. Friday, so that means we're down for the week. And for Tri-West, it means we're down for we got 7 more regular school days and then final start. So looking forward to having that Christmas break. Kids are excited. A bunch of sports happening. Can't wait to discuss that with you and, with our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. As I put a message up on our X account today, just kind of saying, due to some illness and scheduling conflicts, we had to postpone the recording, and we'll get this out. I'll get it up later on here today so we get it out as quickly as possible. But yeah, I was kind of down for the count there for a little bit this week. And of course, coming off of Thanksgiving break last week, no show. We wanted to try to get it out, but you know how those things go too. We were both kind of caught up in some sports last night and everything, but we definitely want to make it happen here. So we're going to rock and roll. We've got a lot of results to get to since it's been a little while since we were able to put our last episode up. But as you guys who have been following along with us know, all of the contact information I just flashed up there on the screen. So hit us up on all the socials. Let us know how we're doing. Provide us with feedback, as we always say, results, anything you want shouted out on the show, please let us know. But we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with our legendary performance spotlight. And this week, that honor goes to Triton Central Girls Basketball senior standout Maryrose Felling. Felling has played a vital role in helping get the Lady Tigers off to a 4-2 start, including a huge early season win over Monrovia, which we will talk a little bit about here in the show. She is currently 11th in the state in scoring at 25.3 points per game. I know Coach Graham spoke highly of her in the preseason interview that we did. You guys can always go back and catch that if you didn't get a chance to hear it. Talked a lot about her leadership and ability to be able to score the ball, and she is proving that she is that leader that may guide this team throughout the season. So congratulations to Maryrose and to the Lady Tigers on their fine start to the season. I know it was a little rocky there, but they've kind of righted the ship there. I think that win, along with some scheduling, has probably helped some stuff out. So congratulations there to Maryrose and, again, to the Triton Central Lady Tigers. Mike, let's go and jump into our conference standings, which we really only have one real update to this point in the winter season. We haven't had a whole lot in the way of wrestling and swimming contests in conference. And so boys basketball really hasn't kicked off yet. So if you want to walk us through, just the first kind of matchups that we've had here with girls basketball, how are things shaping up here early on?
Yeah, right now, Triton Central and Beech Grove are both 1-0 in conference play. Indian Creek is the only team to play 2 games, and they're 1-1. And then Monrovia and Speedway are both 0-1, with Tri-West being the only girls team to have not played a conference scheduled game right now. But when you look overall, Beech Grove is 6-3, Triton Central's 4-2. Monrovia is kind of leading the way right now with that 5-1 record. Tri-West is 3-3, Speedway 4-3, and Indian Creek 3-4. So we only have one school right now that is looking like they're below 500. Tri-West at that 500 mark, and everybody else is doing pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at some of these scoring margins too, and you kind of see some really impressive numbers being put up both on the offensive and defensive end. I want to shout out Beech Grove. They're currently averaging 40 points per game on defense. So congratulations to the Hornets down there on that. That's a good accomplishment anytime you can hold opposing teams to under 40 points per game. And I know they play a pretty competitive schedule down there as well. And we're going to go ahead and just transition right on into that as we go through our part of the show where we go through our schedules and results from conference schools here. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Beech Grove. And the Lady Hornets on the basketball court are sitting at 6-3, as Coach just said. After splitting a pair of games over the last weekend, on November 22nd, they defeated Covenant Christian 50-44. In that game, the Hornets were led by Olivia Stowers, who put up 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Then last Tuesday, they dropped the contest to future HLC opponent Shelbyville by a score of 52-37. Harmony Burke led the team that night with 9 points. They will be back in action, I believe, tonight in a boys-girls doubleheader with Speedway. The boys team, the Hornets, have opened their 25-26 campaign 2-1 after splitting a pair of contests, losing to Greenfield Central and defeating Crystal House Academy. In the GC game, Bishop Moore paced the Hornets with 13 points, followed closely behind by AJ Amos, who went for 12 and 11, and BJ Maston with 10. In the win against Crystal House, the Hornets used a balanced attack to fend off a scrappy Eagles team. Tyler, and AJ Ramos each had 17. Bishop Moore had 15, and BJ Maston chipped in with 13. And as we said, they will be back in action tonight against Speedway in a big HLC tilt. Girls wrestling, the Lady Hornets traveled to Columbia City to take part in the 2-day Thanksgiving tournament. Here were their placers for the squad. Anna McCartney, first place at 120, so congratulations there. Liliana Lozano, third place at 125. Caitlin Dibrin, third place at 145. And Jocelyn Stinson, fifth place at 170. On the boys' side, they kicked off their season this week in a conference duel against Triton Central. We did not have updates on that as of yet that I could find on USA Wrestling. And then they had another duel this week against Lawrence Central. Again, no results found on that. They will be heading out to Newcastle, to the Newcastle Invite this weekend. And no results reported from boys and girls swimming. So that will do it for the Hornets. Let's throw it on down south to Indian Creek and the Braves.
Yeah, so the Braves, we talked about a little bit already, but the Braves are sitting at 3-4. So they won their last game, which is awesome. They have only played once since our last episode, and they dropped that contest to Franklin County by 72-33. So kind of a shellacking taken right there, and sometimes we always talk about, let me get back into the groove here. It's been a couple of weeks.
Right.
Sometimes we talk about, you can win from a loss. I don't know if you can with something, that big. Just keep your heads up and still play. That's all that coach has to be talking to them about is, sometimes those teams are better and we got to focus on the little things. The team will be back in action this Friday night at home against the solid Owen Valley team. And then we'll be at Tri-West on Saturday. Boys basketball, the boys team got their season started last week by dropping a heartbreaker to Franklin Community in overtime by a score of 71-68. Senior Carter Cooley led the Braves with 27 points on 9 of 20 shooting. Now, Coach, when you hear that, what are we thinking there? I mean, he says, I know he went 3 for 6 from behind the arc, but 9 of 20 shooting, that's not what we want. Is that some Allen Iverson things there going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about Indian Creek's total makeup on where that came from on the floor too. If he missed a lot of layups or if they were contested jumpers. I mean, that is almost 50% from the field, which isn't awful. I don't know what position, if he's a post player or what have you. But yeah, it's kind of interesting when you look at stats like that, how you can make certain things out of it. But you're right. I mean, when you look at it on the surface, it looks like a lot of shots and a lot of misses there. But yeah, it just kind of depends on the team makeup and where he's playing on the floor.
Yeah, you never know with stats, right?
Yeah.
All we know is that the ball don't lie. So the Braves were scheduled to play on Saturday against Edinburgh, but that game was postponed. That big snowstorm of 4 to 5 inches that we got. No word yet on the makeup date. The Braves will be back in action Saturday. Once again, as part of that doubleheader against Tri-West. Girls wrestling. The Lady Braves participated in the Ben Davis Invite on November 22nd. Here are the results. And for the individual placers, Chloe Leap, 5th place at the 100-pound mark. Ella Nybert, 1st place, 105. Elizabeth Downey, 1st place, 110. Serenity McCoy, 6th place, 120. And Madeline Geyer, 2nd place at 130. So congratulations to all of them. Boys wrestling. The boys kicked their season off by taking part in the Capital City Classic at Beech Grove on the 22nd. Here are those results. We have Wyatt Horton, 2nd place at 106. Caden Chest, 3rd place, 113. Isaac Smith, 6th place, 132. Bo Jackson came out of retirement for 1st place at 138.
Yeah.
Patrick Dowdy, 1st place, 144. And I wonder if I assume that's brother and sister there, right? Elizabeth Dowdy.
I would assume so.
Yeah, Patrick Dowdy both out there wrestling. That's awesome. He got 1st place at 144. Jackson Stark, 6th place at 150. Cole Doughty, maybe the 3rd one or cousin, who knows, 7th place at 157. Oliver Hallett, 1st place, 175. Elijah Geyer, 1st place at 190. Joshua Seacat, 5th place, 215. Gabriel Buzzard, 7th place at 285. The boys then hosted Monrovia in the HLC duel last Tuesday. Unfortunately, we have no results reported on that one. The busy start continued as the Braves participated in the Gary Anderson Invite at Edgewood High School. Here are the results from those. So Adam Butler, 5th place at 106. Colton Stinson, 6th place, 113. Atticus Smith, 6th place, 132. Bo Jackson, 5th place, 138. Patrick Dowdy, 5th place, 144. Cole Dowdy, 6th place, 150. Noah Wilson, 6th place, 165. Oliver Hallett, 5th place at 175. Elijah Geyer, 5th place at 190. Joshua Seacat, 5th place at 215. And Wyatt Horton, 6th place, 285. Monday night, the boys were to take on South Putnam in a duel, but that meet was canceled due to weather. Also, I'm assuming it's South Putt, so a lot of those wrestlers are probably still celebrating their state championship. So congratulations out there to all them South Putnam guys. No results right now for the boys or girls swimming. But Coach, just to go sidetrack, because I always talk about football. Did you hear on the cast, the television during the South Putnam game, what the coach said to their offensive line?
No, I was out of state. I didn't get a chance to check any of that out.
But basically, right now he had a meeting and said, if you want to start on my offensive line, you will be squatting 405 pounds.
Wow.
Right. And I know Ralph says that over at I'm having a brain fart. What's that place? New Pal, right? That's kind of his baseline as well. So I'm sure this guy learned that from him. But for a 1A school to say, if you're starting, you got to be 405 squat. And when you looked at those guys, they look like they could squat 405. So
yeah, I could believe it.
You got to set those standards, man. And so good for them. Congratulations to them. But let's go Indian Creek and beat them in wrestling. I think you guys got it.
Yeah, I know Coach Sorrell out there at South Putt. He and I graduated together at Brownsburg. He's been around the block. He's a really good guy. He's done some great things out there at South Putt, and he was a big boy himself in high school, and so I know how much he values that weight room. So and I just want to say congratulations to Indian Creek too for that hot start there on the boys wrestling side. And girls are ranked 10th in the state. The boys, I know that Oliver Hallett, I believe, was either a state finalist last year or a semi-state. I remember hearing his name last year, and even the year before. I think I remember seeing him wrestle down at Evansville. So they've got some good things going on there in the wrestling room for Indian Creek. All right, let's move on to the Monrovia Bulldogs here. Girls basketball, the Lady Bulldogs currently sit at 5-1 on the season, as we talked about. After dropping a heartbreaker to Triton Central, the team bounced back to thump Eminence by a score of 66-44. If I remember right on social media, they play for something like the Leather Boot or Pig Straps or something. I don't know. They had some kind of big trophy game that they had down there. So no disrespect, Monrovia, congratulations for taking down the Eels. Anytime you can go in the Eel tank and win, that's good. The Lady Dogs had a balanced attack, but were led by Zoe Walls with 17 points and 4 steals. She was followed closely behind by Grace Deaton with 12. Cameron Wolf and Ava Sims had 10 each. Tuesday night, the team was set to take on University, but that game was canceled. I'm guessing, like we said earlier, probably due to Monrovia being out that day, being down a little bit further south. I think they might have gotten hit a little bit harder. Boys basketball, the Bulldogs got their season started off on the right foot by defeating the Eminence Eels as well by a score of 69-27. So congratulations to Coach Barber on his first win as a Bulldog coach there. They were supposed to take on Cascade on Friday, but due to their state football run, the game has been rescheduled. I know that's always a big one for both of those teams early in the season. The Bulldogs picked up a game tonight against MTI Knowledge, and they will take on Speedway on December 12th. No results that I could find from anything that their wrestling programs have been involved in. I'm sure that they've traveled to an invite or two. I know that they've probably had a duel. We just haven't seen any results on USA Wrestling. So if you know of, and I couldn't find their schedule on their athletics website. So anyone affiliated with Monrovia Wrestling, if you've got any insight for us, we'd be happy to report that. Same thing with boys and girls swimming. So that will take us on over to the west side in the Speedway Spark Plugs.
Hey, sorry, Coach. Give me one moment.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Little technical difficulty here.
Yeah, all good.
All right, Speedway. We're talking about girls basketball. We know that Speedway is at 4-3 and 0-1 in the conference. They're on a 2-game winning streak, I believe, right now. The Lady Spark Plugs had a big win against the Westside Foe Covenant Christians. I think they're like, 5 minutes apart from each other, if that.
Probably.
With a score of 52-49, the Plugs were led in scoring by senior Haley Clampett, who went 18-11. That means she went 18 points and 11 rebounds, getting that double-double. Nice job. She was followed closely behind Madeline Metallic, who had a 15-point, 15-rebound effort. Meanwhile, freshman Katie Taylor had a nice game, adding 12 points to the Spark Plugs total. The girls were then back in action Tuesday night as they took on North Montgomery Chargers, and they just eked out a win, 39-37. They are back in action in that HLC matchup against Beach Grove. So boys basketball, the Spark Plugs dropped their opening contest against Covenant Christian last Tuesday. Last night, the Plugs looked to rebound against the Western Boone Stars and did just that as they fought to a 79-71 victory in overtime. It's always nice to see a former Sagamore team get beat. So congratulations, Speedway. In that win, Drew Metallic went off for 38 points on 13 of 26 shooting. He also had 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. All around, great day for him. Girls wrestling. The Lady Spark Plugs were another HLC team that participated in the Ben Davis Invite. Here are the results from that day. We have Brooklyn Martin, second place at 125. Janela Dale, third place, 130. Molly Thompson, sixth place, 135. Emily Hernandez, second place at 140. I'm guessing another Emily Hernandez at third place at 145. Andeline Joseph, seventh place, 155. And Brianna Perapino, fourth place at 235. Boys wrestling, the boys will start their season Tuesday in a dual meet against Martinsville. They'll also be participating in a 5-way duel at Cascade over the weekend. Please beat Cascade. They're already getting on my nerves with the state championship. They think they're better than everybody right now. Which, great job on them. You know what I mean? But I'm over them already. So good luck, fellas. Beat them Cadets. You
That's
want to
right.
talk about the most northwest part of the HLC?
Let's do it. The Tri-West Bruins, baby. Lady Bruins have split a pair of games since our last episode, dropping a contest to Danville before picking up a win over Cascade. Well, there you go. I mean, hey, everything balances out, right? Lose to Danville, beat Cascade. In the win against In the win against Cascade, Cameron Ferris went for 16-6. Anaya Anthony chipped in with 10, 4, and 6. The team had a game against Southmont postponed due to weather this past weekend with that big, like you said, snowstorm. They are in action against the 6-1 McCutcheon Mavericks. The team will then face a critical 3-game HLC stretch when they take on Indian Creek, Triton Central, and Monrovia. And if I remember correctly, they may have played that game against McCutcheon. I started putting the script together before I knew we were going to have to postpone the show due to my sickness, and I think they played that game either Wednesday or Thursday night. I'll get the update on that for everybody. On the boys' side, they dropped their opening contest of the season to Decatur Central by a score of 74-54. Bruins played a tight first half, really before Decatur Central pulled away using a strong second half. The Bruins were led by Ryan Miller and Daniel Thomas, who each had 12. They will be back in action Saturday in a big conference game against Indian Creek. And I will plug as well for both schools that that boys-girls doubleheader, I believe, is a 4 o'clock girls game, 6 or 6:30 boys game, following after both varsity contests. It is a pink out for cancer awareness, so I know that's been communicated to all parties involved there. So if you plan on going out to those games and you're in the Indian Creek area or the Tri-West area, that is a cancer awareness game. Girls wrestling, the Lady Bruins took their team to the Ben Davis Invite to face some great competition. Here's how they fared. Jessie Scalero, 4th place at 130. Camber Posey, 4th place at 135. And Grace Marshall, 1st place at 170. So congratulations to Grace. She's been off to a solid start to the year. The boys got their season started off last night in a duel with Pike. I know they lost that duel. I do not know the total off the top of my head. Talking to my son who is on the team, it sounds like they had a couple of wins in that matchup. I think state finalist Eli Ogle secured a win for the Bruins, but I don't recall off the top of my head the rest of those scores. On the swimming side, I know last night the girls and boys both competed in a 3-way out at North Montgomery between North Montgomery, Webo, and Tri-West. The boys won that contest. The girls placed 3rd. And that is all the information that I have off the top of this glorious bald head of mine. So we will throw it on over to wrap it up here with Triton Central.
Hey, before we get over to Triton Central, I know I texted you, I think yesterday, about that Meet Mobile. Were you able to look into that?
Not yet, but I'm going to. I think if it's worth being able to get the results, I might pony up the money for that.
Yeah, so if anyone listening, if you've used Meet Mobile, which is an app, let us know. Let us know if it's worth it or if there's a better place to find all these swimming results. I talked to a couple of students, and that's what they said. They said that you can find out who won and lost, but if you want to know like individual results, it costs like $9. I'm not sure if it's a month or if it's a year, or if it's just a one-time pay. So if you guys know, please hit us up. So Triton Central girls basketball. The Ladies Tigers are on a modest 2-game win streak after winning a thriller against previous unbeaten Monrovia, 66-64 in overtime. The Tigers then took down Morristown to improve to 3-2 on the season. In the win against Monrovia, standout Maryrose Felling had 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. Definitely a clutch performance. Junior Quinn King chipped in with 19 points, 5 assists, and 4 steals. The team then took on Rushville last night and defeated the Lions by a score of 55-33. Once again, Felling led the Tigers with 21 points and 7 rebounds. The Tigers are back in action tonight against Waldron. Boys basketball, the Tigers split a pair of games to open their season, winning against Morristown before losing to future HLC foe Shelbyville. In the win against Morristown, the team was led by senior Eli Seago, who went for 31 points. I don't care who you are. That is a lot of points. So nice job, Eli. He also put up 21 points in the loss to Shelbyville. So a 26-point average to start the season is nice for that senior guard, starting off at his final season here, with a bang. So keep that up. The Tigers will be back in action Friday and Saturday as they take on Waldron and Southwestern. When it comes to wrestling, we haven't got any information on Triton Central girls or boys, but for swimming, the Lady Tigers competed in the Ben Davis invite on 11-12. It looks like this was wrestling, and I apologize, not knowing how to read.
Well,
Here
I
are
put it in the
today.
wrong place. That's my fault. I got to fall on that sword. I
Hey,
put that
man,
in the wrong category.
I didn't want to say anything.
I'll take it, man.
Aubrey Prop, second place at 110, and Zoe Gray, first place at 190.
Nice.
Second place and first place at Ben Davis invite is phenomenal work. So nice job, ladies.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. That Ben Davis invite must have been. I know we had at least 3 or 4 of our teams there, so I'm sure that was a good showing for the HLC and a good way to kind of scope out the competition a little bit too. When you go to some of these invites, you get an opportunity. I know tomorrow the boys Tri-West team will be at Western Boone, which essentially used to be conference, minus I think one team. I don't think Danville would go up to that one, or I can't remember who it was. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you get these early season invites and you get a good look at a squad and what they're representing and what to kind of to scope out and look for. So congratulations to all the wrestlers who placed there at that event. All right, real quickly, when we run through and take a look at our statistics here, as we said, boys have not had any conference games yet. We went through their season. Up to this point, just 1 or 2 games for most teams here. But like we said, coming out the gate, Carter Cooley of Indian Creek averaging currently 27 in his opener, coming out, like we said, 9 of 20 shooting there, 3 of 6 from behind the arc. So he netted 27. Eli Seago coming in at 26 a game with those first 2 games. Walker Oliver out of Indian Creek, 16 points a game. AJ Amos in 2 games averaging 14.5, and then Bishop Moore also in 2 games coming in at 14 points. On the assist side, so far you've got Alec Burris of Indian Creek with a 6 assist performance in his first game. Also, Alex Morse out of Indian Creek, 4 assists in that first game. So good job sharing the ball there. Eli Seago, we talked a little bit obviously about the scoring, but here's something, Coach, that I think is really important too. 7 assists in 2 games. So you say only 3.5 assists per game, but only 1 turnover. Right. And when you look at the assist to turnover ratio, which is really important in the game of basketball, you're sitting at a 7 right now, which is awesome. So congratulations there. That's handling the ball, shooting the ball. He's got the ball in his hand a lot. And so, he's handling it there. BJ Maston at Beech Grove, 7 assists in his first 2, so 3.5 average. And then Ryan Miller out at Tri-West had 3 assists in that loss to Decatur Central. So he's currently averaging 3 assists per game. When we take a look at our rebound numbers, Alec Burris currently with 14 rebounds in his first game. So congratulations there. That's putting up some numbers. AJ Amos with 17 rebounds in 2 games. Bishop Moore, both of those guys from Beech Grove, 16 rebounds there for Bishop in 2 games, so an 8 average. And then BJ Maston from Beech Grove, 10 rebounds at 5 average. Eric Dean had 5 rebounds in his first game against Decatur Central there. Do you want to take us through the girl stats?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're talking about scoring, we've already mentioned her, Maryrose Felling. In 5 games, she scored 131 points. So that is an average of 26.2 points. Then number 2, Zoe Walls from Monrovia. Through 6 games, she's averaging 20.8 points per game. Alex Sitting from Indian Creek, through 6 games, averaging 15.8. Madeline Medlick from Speedway, averaging 14.9. And then Quinn King from Triton Central, out of 5 games, she's averaging 14 points per game. So congratulations to those ladies, really getting that ball through the net. When we're talking about assist, number 1 is Quinn King. That's pretty fitting for her name. Triton Central. She's averaging 7 rebounds per game. Anaya Anthony from Tri-West averaging 4.8. Reese Tunell, out of 6 games, she's averaging 4.5 assists per game. And Regan Ferris of Indian Creek is averaging 4.5 assists per games. And then Alexa shooting, once again, 3.7 rebounds per game. Off to the rebounds. Alexa from Indian Creek, once again, is leading the way. She has a total of 58 rebounds, 33 defense, 25 offense, and she's averaging 9.7. So congratulations to her. Madeline Metlick, again, from Speedway. She's averaging 8.9. Harper Moore, through 8 games, she's averaging 7.4 rebounds per game. Blair Benner from Tri-West is averaging 7.2. And then Brinley Hamblin from Monrovia. She is doing a great job too. And I did not put her totals in there, but she's has 42 rebounds divided by 6 games. As Coach said, that would be 7. 7 rebounds a game. So congratulations to Brinley, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Great stuff there. And, you kind of highlighted, I'm glad you did, that rebound total for Alexa Sichting out of Indian Creek, 25 offensive rebounds. Just to put that into perspective of all the other leading rebounders on that list, Harper Moore from Beech Grove has 16. That's the next closest one. So those offensive rebounds are so vital and important. So way to clean up on the glass there. That's awesome work. Again, I know we talked about this, Coach, as we start to wrap up our episode here. I'm just really excited to kind of see where the basketball season goes, both on the boys and girls side. We're already starting to see it start to heat up here on the girls side. And of course, obviously we'll start getting some boys stuff rolling in here tonight and this weekend. There's just going to be a lot of really good basketball played in the Hoosier Legends Conference here this season. And I'm really excited to see what these young athletes can do week in and week out. So congratulations to those that have had a really, really solid start. And I mean, when we read through the statistics and the standings at the beginning of the broadcast here, I mean, Indian Creek at 3 and 4, that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, they played in the Johnson County tournament already. I believe they've already played Franklin Community, and they've played Center Grove. So they've played a tough schedule out of the gate here. And I know that'll help Coach Ferris and the girls down there as they get the season going a little bit more here. So again, nothing to hang their heads about. Speedway's kind of getting some things cooking down there. Tri-West is holding steady at 500. So really kind of excited to see where things go from here on out, and can't wait to report back next week and see what this weekend had to bring. So before we wrap up though, Mike, anything else you want to add to this before we put a bow on it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's something, we always talk a lot of positive things, and sometimes there's some negative things. And, I think a negative thing that we have to kind of point out here is what's happening at Tri-West. And I don't think Tri-West is alone in this, but having to cancel our JV schedule because of lack of girls playing, I hope it's just a 1 year off thing. I know we kind of mentioned this in a podcast not too long ago, but it's just worrisome when you start not being able to have JV teams, and I think there's a lot of different reasons why that tends to happen, but I just want to kind of bring that to people's attention. I don't know what's going on, and I hope that whatever it is gets figured out for sure.
Yeah, we've kind of spitballed, a lot of different things going around with that, because it sounds like it's something that a lot of schools are fighting on numbers with stuff. Could it be a rise in other sports like girls wrestling, or there girls that have flipped over to other sports? I know there was some concern about flag football. Would that eat into the soccer program, volleyball program, that kind of thing? Would more people be, are they getting burnt out? Is it a competition thing? I mean, there's a lot of different things that are going into this. I've got my theories on it. I do think that there's probably some burnout that's happening with the amount of AAU ball and travel ball that's being played. And, almost every sport now is year round. And, it felt like there for a while, we were celebrating our dual sport athletes, multi-sport athletes, and there was a lot of statistics and data that was being thrown around about how important that is. When you look at the next level, how much emphasis a coach puts on their players playing other sports. But, again, at the same time, then you hear people say, well, you got to concentrate and focus on one sport if you want to excel in it. So, yeah, I hope it is just a little blip on the radar. And then, of course, obviously you get into politics and, is somebody not wanting to play for a certain coach or, that stuff, unfortunately, is evil and focuses what works its way in on this too. But yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I hope it is just kind of a little blip on the radar, and we'll see some of these things kind of water finding its level type thing, and stuff will bounce back out. But it is concerning when you have a 3A school that can't field a JV team. That definitely should raise some alarm bells there.
Yep. Hopefully it's a lot about nothing.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, that will do it for another episode here of the Hoosier Legends Weekly Podcast. Again, we thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please help us grow the show by spreading it on social media that you might have as well. We'll see you again next week for another episode.